Budgeting is probably one of the most tedious things, and it's gotten more difficult over time. Years ago, our parents or grandparents, they might have had one checkbook, and even credit cards are a relatively new invention. So that was a much easier task back in the day. Today we have credit cards, we might have Venmo, and we might have Zelle, and there's funds coming out of our accounts in so many different directions that it's awfully difficult for anyone to keep track of all the transactions. And so, ideally, would you track every single Starbucks expense and have a perfectly accurate view of where your spending is month to month? Yes, of course, that would be helpful. Is it realistic? No, it isn't. And unless you have a dedicated bookkeeper, I'm not sure that it's really even possible. It's just not feasible. What I recommend is what's known as reverse budgeting. So instead of tracking all the expenses going out of your account, instead, figure out how much you need to be adding to your savings each year to meet your long-term goals. If you're 30 years old and you know that you need to save a certain number of dollars, well, some can go into your 401k automatically, and then maybe you want to save some additional amount in accounts outside of your retirement accounts. Well, that's a perfect way to approach it. And if you know what that number is, then what you should do is take what's known as the pay yourself first approach. So divert those dollars before they're even available to spend. And that way, you know that you've already taken care of what you need to do. And that way, any dollars that are left over in your checking account, you should feel free to spend and not feel compelled to track to the penny.